Hi, I'm Kat and I play Red. We're going to do something a bit different today. A while back I did an overview of all the different Azul games and the differences between them. They obviously released more since I did that, and the same's going to happen with this. But today we're going to have a look at some Ticket to Ride games. Now obviously this is a game that's been around for years now. It will probably tell us somewhere on here. I think Europe was the first one. Can't see a year on it. They've been around for a long time. Let's say that 2004 I think. So nearly 20 years. Well, that's true because we had the 15th anniversary recently. And there's lots of versions. So what I'm going to do today is have a look at the big box versions. These are the big box ones that you can play on their own. We're not looking at the expansions, the smaller ones that just have the maps. We're looking at the big box ones. So to start with, we have Europe. I don't know whether Europe or America was the first. I should have looked that up before starting this video, shouldn't I? But we have Europe and America are the two basic games. Now, this is Europe. America looks like this. But what we've also got to show you is the 10th anniversary of America, which is this huge one. And I'll open it up and you can have a look at it. Now, there is a 15th anniversary edition that is the same size that is the Europe map. So these were the original two, Europe and US. And there are some differences with them. Obviously, the maps are different, but both of them contain everything you need to play a game of Ticket to Ride. So let's actually look up. I've just realised how battered our 10th anniversary box is, but you know, it's there to be played, not stored. So this is our standard, oh gosh, I'm making a pig's ear with this. This is our standard size Ticket to Ride board, and these, I'm not going to use the yellow ones, these are our standard trains. So a normal Ticket to Ride, your board's going to be this size and your trains are going to look like that. And I'm going to regret this move, but the anniversary editions, just to give you a comparison, right, this is the 10th anniversary board. I think the 15th anniversary is the same size. I've played on the 15th anniversary one, but we don't own it. So that is the difference, gosh, in the size of the boards. So that gives you some idea of why you're paying the extra money. The other really nice thing with these anniversary editions is the trains. Now, all your trains come in little tins, but they're also slightly special. So the red trains on this edition are the circus trains, so they've got little giraffes. The black trains are the coal, brown trains, barrels, and so on. So that is the difference really between the anniversary editions and the standard. You've not only got this huge board, but you've just got much nicer components. These little tins are adorable, and I love the giraffes for the red trains because obviously that's what I use. So there you go, that is the difference between the anniversary and the basic. So let's say you can see the board is huge and the components are just that much nicer, and the insert is really nice as well. Everything just fits nicely, fancy square pieces and so on. So there you go, that is your Europe and America boards. Now Europe, I'm going to swivel this round, has got tunnelling, which the US doesn't. So through the mountains, you have these tunnel spaces. To build a route in a tunnel, you have to draw 3 cards from the top of the deck, and pray that the colours don't match what you're trying to build. So if I was trying to build this free route with red trains, I'd draw 3 cards, and if any were red, I'd have to pay extra for that route. You always draw 3 cards, even on like the smaller routes, 3 cards for mountainous tunnels, which obviously this is Switzerland. There's quite a lot of mountains and tunnels around there. So yeah, there's the insert for the standard Europe. The standard America looks exactly the same as well. So let's get on to the interesting editions. So that's Europe and America, which are your 2 basic sets. We've then got Zug um Zug Deutschland. Now this is, if your German's any good, Ticket to Ride Germany. We picked this up for I think €10 or something ridiculously cheap at Essen many years ago. I know this has now been released in English as Ticket to Ride Germany. I think it's the same. I haven't seen the English one because we have the German one. So the rules are in German, but obviously it's language independent. If you know what you're doing, it doesn't matter. So here, I think we've got the connections to neighbouring countries. I'm not very good with these boards, am I? So this is the map for it. Yeah, we've got connections to like France, Switzerland down the bottom, Denmark up here. And there are cards that will give you points just for connecting to the different countries. But essentially, it's another standard Ticket to Ride map, but in Germany. So we've been to quite a few of these places. We've been to Dusseldorf because it's near Essen. I'm surprised Essen's not on here, actually. Very surprised, because it would be somewhere around here. And it's not. So there we go. So that is the Germany, but this is the German one rather than the English one. Again, the trains are the same plastic trains that you get with any of the basic sets, except this one goes to 5. So that's something else slightly different about that, because I think most of them are 4. So that is Ticket to Ride Germany, which isn't necessarily interesting, but it's good as a curiosity because, as I say, this one is obviously the German. Then we're going to have a look at Nordic counties. Now, this is a map specifically designed for 2 to 3 players. So this map is really tight. I guess you could play it at 4 if you wanted to be super mean to yourself. It can be quite a hard map with 2, as Rob will testify. We had a particularly grueling game where there were 3 of us playing, and Rob and our friend Emma were both after the same routes, and I think I beat them by about 100 points because they were busy fighting over routes while I just played my game. So that is 2 to 3 players. We have quite a lot of tunnelling because it's a Scandinavian area, so there's lots of mountains and tunnels. We've been to quite a few places on here as well. The train colours are different. We have purple, white and black. The other interesting thing that I have in here are my rather lovely translucent red trains. We got these at a convention. I can't remember where or when. They obviously had all the different colours, but I got the red set. I know that's a shock, but these are rather cute. So those are in there because there's no red in there otherwise. So that is a Nordic counties, say designed for 2 to 3 players. Say, I imagine if you wanted to be mean, you could play it at 4, but it gets tight even at free, so I don't know how it would go at 4, but we might have to do that sometime for funsies. So this is the third in the series of Ticket to Ride, and this is a bit special. This is the Märklin Ticket to Ride. Now, Märklin is a kind of like Hornby for Germany. They make model trains. They're a company that has been around since like 1859. And this was done in collaboration with them. So the cards are actual pictures of their trains. Let's have a quick look at that. But it's a special edition done in association with Märklin. And I've realised I said Hornby, and I don't know if Hornby are a British thing. So these are actually all pictures of actual Märklin models. We've got the normal plastic trains, but the other interesting thing we have in here is passengers, which of course are right at the bottom. So we have passengers here. Oops. I love the noise of these trains, it's so satisfying. And we'll have a look at the board and explain what the passengers do, because this is a bit more in-depth than some of the other Ticket to Ride boards. So I'm not very good at opening these boards out. It's because there's pressure, because someone's watching, hopefully. So on each of these spots we will have tokens. So you're going to put the tokens on these spots. The yellow is 3, 2, 1. And I think these are just 2. And you're going to have these tokens all over the board. I know there's a black one that's worth here, that's worth huge points. And basically, instead of building routes or taking cards as usual, if you have trains here, you can move your passenger along the routes, and you're going to pick up these little tokens which will give you points at the end of the game. So you have to have routes there, but you kind of move your passenger around and pick these up for extra points. So there's definitely more to this than some of the others. And again, similarly, there are some route cards where you have to connect countries. So we've got France, Switzerland and Austria at the bottom there, and Denmark at the top again. Netherlands as well. So some cards, instead of routes, will tell you to get from like a specific country to a specific place. But the passengers and the tokens are what makes this one very different to any of the others. The last thing we're going to have a little look at is some more special trains. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a sucker for Halloween. So these were a limited edition Halloween freight set of trains. They're designed for Europe, so they have the stations. With the 2 base games, Europe has stations and America doesn't. And the stations allow you to kind of piggyback other people's routes to fulfill your tickets. So if you're looking at the 2 base games, I think Europe is a bit kinder than America, because Europe does have these stations. So you can pop a station down and use someone's track to complete your tickets. So that's the main difference really between Europe and US. But yeah, these are the little pumpkin trains, which are super cute, totally unnecessary, but I had to have them. So the one big box that I'm missing, and there's a reason for this, is Rails and Sails. Now we tried that, we demoed it the year it came out at Essen, and we didn't enjoy it. And we do like Ticket to Ride, we quite enjoy it. Rails to sales, you had some routes that were rails and some that were sales, but you needed different cards, and we played a 4-player game, and we were all just sat there with this huge hand of cards, not getting the specific colour and the specific type, and it was really stressful. We didn't enjoy it, which is why I haven't got it. I know it's out there quite cheap now, and I do every so often think about it, and then I'm like, no, we don't need any more Ticket to Ride. This is about half the Ticket to Ride we own. So Rails and Sales is the other big box, but honestly, it was too much. We thought, the whole group in fact walked away being quite unimpressed. But obviously, that's personal opinion. Take it with a pinch of salt. So yeah, that is the big box Ticket to Ride. So if you're looking into one, I hope that helps you decide which one you might want to buy. If you haven't had a chance to have a look at like Märklin or Deutschland, I hope you enjoyed having a quick look at those. We might have a look at some of the expansions at some point, but I did get rid of a load because I was like, we have far too much, we don't need this many. So we might have a look at some of them and some of the differences at a later date. But that is our Ticket to Ride video. I'm going to finish it by holding this because this is the precious one. If you enjoyed this video, click like and subscribe and share it and all that gubbins. If you have a friend who's getting into gaming and is confused and overwhelmed by the amount of Ticket to Ride out there, send them the link. You know how to do it. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye. Something really interesting we've only just noticed, it's probably why I love doing these, is here we have the Ticket to Ride Germany board, and this is the Märklin board, and they're actually the same board, except obviously we don't have the passengers on Germany, but they're both German maps, and they're both actually the same. And I don't know if I feel sad about that or not, but bearing in mind, let's say I think we paid €10 for the Germany board, it's fine. But yeah, the boards are actually identical. So I wonder if that was done because the Märklin sold out and no one could get it. So I wonder if that's why they did this. Interesting fact for the day.